Over the years, I've interacted a lot and enjoyed very much interacting with ILP. Not only myself, but also many people, many researchers at the lab. And I think ILP performs a very, very important function. And that's about taking MIT research, exposing it to a broader audience, and most importantly, creating new links, new collaborations. Through ILP, we started many new exciting research projects that then help industries in different parts of the world develop new products or services. The way we do research at the SENSEable City Lab is quite similar to what happens with ILP. So we got a consortium of companies, and cities with different levels of engagements. They're actually the ones who support our research. They get access to it, they get access to the IP. And so kind of there's a win-win for both of us. Just one example, we mentioned before about the projects we did with Uber. Well, Uber has been a member of our consortium for a number of years, and we work a lot with them in order to look at this kind of shareability problems, not only theoretically, but also in different specific cities around the world. For many years, we've been collaborating with the city of Copenhagen in Denmark, and one of the projects we did with them is something that resulted in an MIT patent and in a company. The company is called Super Pedestrian. The initial product was called the Copenhagen wheel, a bicycle wheel that would attach to any bike and turn any bike very quickly into a smart e-bike. Well, Super Pedestrian started with the Copenhagen wheel, but then moved into micromobility. Micromobility, we believe, is going to be very interesting for cities tomorrow. It's related to how we can have small vehicles, scooters, bikes, and many others in cities, fleet of vehicles, in order to cover the last mile. And today, actually, Super Pedestrian has become one of the top global players in this space. The story of Super Pedestrian is what we see at MIT all the time. It has happened in our lab plenty of times, but also to many of our colleagues. Ideas develop in the lab, and then those ideas then become startups, and those startups grow and can make a difference in the real world. And actually, I think what is quite unique about MIT is really the fact that, yes, we want to do the best research possible, publish it in the top-tier journals, but also make sure that the research will have an impact in the real world. And one way to do that is really to the startup channel, get venture capital funds, turn it into a company that can implement it in cities. Today we're seeing more and more mobility on demand in cities. So you've got services such as Uber, Lyft, and many others. But one of the key issues is they're all separated. And then when you got this fragmentation, that makes it less efficient for the city. For instance, maybe you open the Uber app and you get an Uber which might be 2 miles away, while there might be just a yellow cab or a Lyft just around the corner. And so one of the things we've been researching recently is actually what are the inefficiencies that you have because of this fragmentation. It turns out the mechanism is very similar to what is called the price of anarchy. So the price of anarchy is when you got many agents optimizing in a selfish way versus an optimization for the whole system. And then by actually analyzing this, we've discovered that those inefficiencies can be really significant. And actually cities should regulate mobility services in a way that there's more integration, even just digitally, between the different providers. And what we've been looking at recently is in cities such as Singapore or around the world, again, using big data to see the consequences. Consequences on the city, for instance, in the reduction of parking spots. Singapore today has around 1.5 million parking spots, but you could cut the number, slash it by 70 or 80%, just if you move to a self-driving paradigm. Again, because you need to keep cars just sitting there unused, but you can actually keep using them for one trip after the other. And the same thing happens with fleets. Fleets as well could be cut by a significant number simply because you use the same car over and over again instead of having this scarcely used infrastructure. One important thing in what we do at the lab is that yes, we want to understand cities, but we want to understand them through the lens of design. For me, there's a beautiful definition of design that was given by Herbert Simon, a great researcher, mathematician, Nobel Prize winner. Actually, was really briefly at MIT in the past century. And he says, quote, "The natural sciences look at how the world is, but design looks at how the world ought to be." And then what we want to do is actually use sometimes mathematics, physics, science, economics, sociology, but in order to look not at how cities are, but how they could be, how we could transform them into new conditions, how we can transform the present into a future, hopefully a better one. At SENSEable City, we like to open up our research and discuss it with many industrial partners. I know that many of you will come to MIT in October 2022 for a Digital Technology and Strategy Conference organized by ILP. Well, that Friday, Friday the 14th, there will be also an event by SENSEable City, so please join us and we continue the conversation together.